Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. From the shotgun, Wilson. It's Hill, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain there of 21 yards.
Come to work. We want it.
Oh my God. Fumble.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson on the crossing route. He hits his man, Amari Cooper. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 25 yards that time. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Now it's Hunt, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Touchdown.
Kareem Hunt with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Down. 90. Wolf. Mike. Scene 6.
On first down, Love. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. That catch, by the way, number 505 of his career, and that ties him with a couple of other tight ends for the past, Frank Wycheck and Dallas Clark.
And those guys are excellent players, but how about what we're seeing right now? 505 and rising. What a nice career he's put together.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. They complete it to Hill. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18.
I got you, son. I got you, Charlie. You're almost ready.
Operating from the gun. Love. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time.
59. Hey, tighten down.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. To throw again. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
On 2nd down, it's Hunt. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. Bear in mind they had 2 interceptions last week, but that was in 4 quarters. They've got 2 here in the 1st quarter alone.
And the unsung people in this streak, the pass rushers, because most of the time, they're the ones that affect things in the pocket for a quarterback, trying to throw the football, rushing them, getting them off their spot, harassing them, and that allows the defensive backs, the linebackers to swoop in and make the picks downfield.
Yeah, they're swooping. Looking to throw. Love. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And to give this time to the tailback. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Throwing on first down. Love. Caught by Allen. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this 1st quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Love. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Grace, don't travel. Grace, don't travel.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 6. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Allen, the intended receiver. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
On 2nd and 11 now, Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Wilson now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He is going to find Hill here. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 21 yards there on 3rd down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at about the 31. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Come on, set. 50-10 Tucson. Fire, 64. Let's go.
On 2nd down now, Donnelly. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Ready. 66. Bullet high. Box track. Ready.
On 1st and 10, Love. Throwing right, and that's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's coming. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 44. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your focus?
Well, QB 101 says you never show them that you're sweating. Still act like you're the guy, that you've thrown 6 touchdown passes, not 3 interceptions. But he's human. He's got to face up to his teammates. He's got to own up to that. See if he can brace up and also not look over his shoulder and see his backup starting to warm up. It's going to be a tough one for him.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6. They've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? Yeah. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now 2 pick 6s that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
But number 1, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harold Landry in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. They go play action with Wilson. They're going deep for Hill. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 45. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. On first down, Love. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Jalen Smith charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Looking to throw. Love. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams. Cooper was the intended target. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe.
He's got a man complete. The 20, 10, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded at the
guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Gets this one to Hill. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Play action. Now Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 20. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They'll keep it on the ground. Donnelly. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. On first down, Donnelly. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now Wilson. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. They'll run on 1st down. Donnelly, and only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Donnelly, about 3 yards there to the 27.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Easy.
Here's Wilson. Going to throw again. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 49. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Point after, right down the middle. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 41. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Donnelly. And an alley to run. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great effort there, with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. 7 yards there and a first down. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. I'm coming.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. Donnelly. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On first down, Donnelly. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Allen's got it complete. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. They'll run on first down. Donnelly. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
That's it, baby. Okay.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check it back.
They'll keep it on the ground. Donnelly. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Donnelly. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. To the right side to Eric Ebron. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down, it's Hunt. Room here to run. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10.
Mike's 59. Check 3, check 3. Tempo.
Now Wilson, off play action, sliding out of the pocket. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 21. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Hey, check.
They'll keep it on the ground. Donnelly. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
The Ravens send their punter out now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. A 44-yard punt. They're going to wind up losing yardage on the return, though. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Don't be mad. There's more coming. There's more coming.
Wilson throwing again. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. And all of a sudden they're knocking on the door inside Baltimore's 10. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Baltimore, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, it's yet another loss as they've started out now 0-7. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.